What's up, party people, to another episode of Who Asked You podcast. I am your host, Study Too Groovy, and we have some special guests today, Essence Tarot, and you know the boy, Crown G. What's good with y'all today?
Feeling good.
Feeling good, feeling great, feeling better. Okay, today we're going to be
Man,
talking
let Essence
about.
speak.
Oh, cut it out.
Oh no, yeah, she gonna listen. She gonna take over the floor soon enough. Uh, we're gonna be talking about the spirit realm. And everything that encompasses it, like meditation, astral projection, feeling vibrations, energies, all that type of stuff. We're going to get right into it. And Essence Tarot is the perfect person to talk about this because she actually knows what she's talking about. So uh, when I did a video, when I did a little preview video, one of the biggest things people were asking was how do you actually activate astral projection? That was one of the biggest things that I saw they wanted to know. So could you kind of tell the people a little bit how to?
Well, first of all, it will come naturally. It will come naturally. It will come on its own. But you will get, um, you would get like, when it comes to astral projection, you would get like sleep spells. Like you would start to feel tired, and sometimes you would just switch automatically. But the point of it is gaining consciousness that you're doing it. Okay, so you will start to slowly drift. You get bored. You will, and it would just happen instantly. It would happen real rapidly. You wouldn't even know. You wouldn't even know until like dreams when you remember it. Okay, but the astral projection, you just come out of your body. Practice coming out of your body, like going to sleep. When you go to sleep, sometimes you feel like you raise out of your body. Sometimes you feel like you're tired and you just need to go to sleep. Sometimes you just want to go somewhere else. You can daydream and uh, astral travel at the same time. It's the same thing. It's just a different type of thing. But it's definitely real and it's definitely worth exploring. Okay, so you
Yes,
tap into that energy because that's a good way to practice how to speak to your other family that you've lost in the other round without actually missing them because they're trying to teach you. A lot of us get family members that's passed, friends that's passed that try to connect to you. Some people they don't know how to let go. A lot of people that lose loved ones, okay, they tend to lose themselves too. They shift
right,
because
right.
their curiosity, knowledge is power, so their curiosity tends to want to know more. So they will naturally shift without not knowing how to come back. When you astral travel, you got to know how to come back. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Because you can leave so far, like people get stuck in a video game, they never come back, and they will die playing the video. You see what I'm saying? So it's all about using that consciousness and strength to know when you're coming in and out your body, control coming in and out your body.
Mm-hmm.
After traveling, it's beautiful. But just make sure you have some water and some sugar to balance yourself when you come back to consciousness in the body. Okay? So
Yeah. And I wanted to like my personal experiences with astral projection is whenever I try to initiate it, I first and foremost had to be in a calm state. I couldn't have a bunch of noise. I couldn't have a bunch of worries in my head. My chakras had to be clear, and I had to, like you mentioned being in control. You definitely have to control your breathing. You have to get into a rhythmic, put yourself in a kind of calm trance in a sense, and then you let go of control. You're in control, but you let go of control at the same time, and
yeah,
you just let it.
you're like this.
Yeah.
But what you're doing is you're telling your vehicle, which is the body, and that's how
Hmm.
you know you are not yourself. You're telling your vehicle, like, hey, listen, I'm gonna step out for a minute, but
Hmm.
you need to still breathe. You need to still eat when you're awake. You need to still do this. You need to still do that. So it will naturally uh, move itself, and that's where you get soulless people because sometimes the soul don't come back. Okay, like I said, this is a process. You gotta love yourself enough to know this. This is self love.
Yeah.
Self love, being able to know yourself inside out and all over the place. You know what I'm saying? Not it's like everybody's so quick to study the next person. You know, everybody wants to study their companion, their partner, but it's about you studying you, mastering
Right.
somebody. It's okay if you want to master and control someone else, but master and control yourself. And
Right.
astral projection is a good way to practice how to switch in and out of realms. Because a lot of us are, not meeting our true partners, not meeting our true family, soul family the way that we should due to distraction everywhere. So when you go into astral travel, you start to see people say they see spirits, they see this, they see that. No, you're seeing your soul family. You're seeing the people that you should be meeting if they are here,
Yeah.
they're still here. They're guiding you to them. But it's always a detour in the road stopping you from going, which is the flesh and the needs, wants, and desires of the flesh. The flesh is ego. The soul is your divine, your divinity. Okay, when you astral travel out of your body, if you really want to astral travel, that's you trying to find yourself, find your purpose, and your path. You
Hmm.
have to meditate. Meditation is key. Okay, that is meditation. Being able to study um, who you are and being able to astral travel, being able to travel and all that, being able to talk to the spiritual realm and be able to come back with a peace of mind. A lot of people tap into that spirit realm and then they come back scared of shit, like, oh my God, just saw a ghost.
Yeah.
It's super disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? So, it's a beautiful feeling when you learn to master
Yeah.
it.
I was gonna add to that, and then I'll let Crown say something. You got to also be careful that like your chakras are aligned because you may bring back an entity with you,
Yeah,
and it may be attached to you,
yeah,
and then you may feel like, why is this? I feel like there's a shroud over me. I feel something heavy, and you won't know like what's like sucking your energy because you don't went into a realm that you weren't prepared for.
right.
Like you don't know the protections. You don't know what you have to tell the ether, what you got to tell the universe for protection. You just doing stuff. So you got to make sure that you're well versed when you try to. Go ahead, Crown.
Yeah, I definitely heard some people speaking about that before. It was like a lady talking about how she would always see like one of her ancestors, and she was like, "Oh, I knew it was her because I could smell a fingernail polish or something like that." And then somebody had to stop and explain to her, like, "Hey, you never know that another type of spirit could have been." Just bringing that smell around you to make you feel like that was your ancestor, but they're really just trying to embody you. So you got to be extra careful. Most people don't dig in deep enough to even understand or contemplate in their own mind. Like she was saying, it always starts with self. If you're not digging for all of the knowledge within yourself to figure it out, you're not going to figure it out.
No,
Right.
they will consume you, and they can consume you, and they have consumed people. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of us cannot get through to a lot of people because they have been consumed. They are not who you know them to be. Okay, they are not the people you love when they are not on the right path. And this is when they will have this thing called narcissism. Those are people who lost control of their body, and now something else outside of them took control, and now they're doing what this other being who used to have a body or never had a body came and did. And
Right.
it's real.
And yeah. And another indication to know if you may have like a evil or negative entity on you is if certain people keep coming around to make you feel a certain emotion because that entity needs that negative energy and is using you as a medium to get that negative energy. So like it's like if you always say like, man, this person always pisses me off whenever they come over, and you got a bad spirit on you, the universe is going to make sure that that person comes because not only have you accepted and affirmed that this person is going to make you feel this way, but that entity needs and wants that, so it's going to draw them to you. And that's why it's important, especially when you're on a spiritual journey and you're vibrating higher. You need to clear your space of negativity, of negative people, of negative activities, negative feelings, because once you start vibrating higher, the higher entities recognize you more, but the lower do too. Like, because
Yeah,
as above, so below. So if your angels are watching over you, it's for damn sure some demons waiting on your downfall as well.
They got that polar opposite, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So especially what they would say, go through the hellfire. When you're going through the hellfire to get to that light, you will be attacked. And some people would say, oh, they feel like they're being like their heart's being crushed, or their chest is being pushed, or they've been shoved, but their spirits can't touch you.
Mm-hmm.
You're a vulnerable being, and they're trying to penetrate you and break your wall down. They will do whatever they can to do so. Okay, the other round wants to have an experience. They're gonna do whatever they can. Do. Okay, now these are people like in this round we have people that get arrested for doing bad things. Can't imagine
Mm-hmm.
what's going on in the other round because each round has its own rules and regulations. Like we still have bodies. We can't have the full experience of astral projection because we're not allowed to be in that round just yet. They said
Yep.
when it's your time, you will go to the other round. Okay, so it's definitely real. So you gotta protect your energy. And if you're not into, there's an alternative. If you're not into, what everybody else is doing, like burning sage or something like that, or crystals or whatever, you can use your meditation skills. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
you can use your meditation skills, tap into your family. Okay, tap into your family and ask them, say, hey, look, protect me from all that. I do this all the time. I say, protect me from all that is evil, shield me from all my haters, bless me with all my abundance, and continue to
Mm-hmm.
guide me along my way. This is you speaking this into the existence. If you have to write it down, your eyes are windows to the soul, write it down then. Okay? But don't be afraid. Do not put fear on top of positivity because that's not a good mixture.
Mm-hmm.
They can sniff that right out. So what you want to do is mean it, and it will manifest. Okay?
Yep.
Saying be very strong about your affirmations because once you didn't place something in your head, if you just keep using those brain waves that you have, you can literally just start rolling the ball and making what you need into existence. Say,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna have to throw this one in there. There's a YouTuber, what's her name? Uppity Unicorn. One time I was on one of her videos and she was speaking to a guru guy, and I had left a comment and was like, for a common person like me, what would you prescribe to help you to protect your aura from evil spirits? And instead of him answering that question, his answer back was to me, don't ever call yourself common. Sit take two
Yeah.
pieces of paper, write down on both of them in red marker common. Take one of them, burn it and let it blow into the wind. The other one, put it in your shoe and you walk on that shit every day to know that that ain't what you are. And I was like, and literally ever since that day, I'm still top
I
notch. I tell
I
you.
like that you mentioned that because like in my head when y'all were talking, I was thinking about when I was younger. I was probably like 20 years old, 19, 20, and I wasn't that big into spirituality. I was like a little chickadee trying to tiptoe into knowledge. But for something made me write down all of my fears and all of the things I was sad about, and I wrote them all down on a piece of paper, and I just burned it. Like, I don't know where I got that from, but I just naturally just burned it, and I felt as the ashes were floating away that I was releasing, like the weight was coming off my shoulder. So I feel like those arts are in our DNA. Like that has to be something that our ancestors been doing.
Fire, water, earth.
I didn't even, yeah, it's like I didn't even know what I was doing, but I did it as if I've always done it, you know? So,
It would be natural. That's how you know it's meant when it comes natural.
mm-hmm.
Like how they say, like when you comb your hair, burn it. You know what I'm saying? So you won't get a headache. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
There's some remedies, okay, that we can use when we ain't got, a lot of money to spend on Christmas. It's cost money.
right.
Right.
What these materials. We have it in our DNA. And for those who don't have that DNA, you need to pray. Okay? Because
Yeah, right,
I,
right.
there's nothing I can do. You chose this vessel. Okay? You chose your experience. Now you can't find a way other than can reverse it in a specific way, alive. Okay, alive. Okay, there's ways to do it. Okay, and you just gotta have that self love. And people say, I don't know how to love myself. I said, you don't know how to want to know you. You don't want to know why your eyebrows. You don't want to know
Right.
why you blink. You don't want to know why you talk. You don't want to know why your tone of voice the way it is. You don't want to know why your ears the way that it is. You don't want to know why your heart beats. You don't want to know. You don't want
Right.
to know. But you can want to know these things about someone else with a passion.
But you don't think, yeah.
Yeah, don't obsess about somebody else. That's witchcraft. Okay, that's witchcraft. It's obsessing over someone else. Okay, the body of someone else. The body of someone else. Spirit is different. That's a whole nother level right there. But the body of someone else is putting yourself in a program to obsess over something outside of yourself. That's not self love.
Mhm.
Don't be like, oh, I love somebody. I love somebody enough where I forget myself. Because that's what happens with people. People love so much they forget themselves. They love their family. They forget who they are. And then when
Mhm.
you find your worth and you take yourself away, okay, they like, where you at? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
No, oh, you changed and shit like
Because
that.
it's that codependence.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that codependent. And when somebody say that to you, then you know you're doing something right because you no longer vibe on that frequency. And that's
Right.
what.
Oh, my family, friends, and all that be telling me, "Oh, you different. Oh, you used to be party. You used to do this." I'm like, "Yeah, but that's not me no more. That
Growing
person died. Like that.
up,
That's he don't exist no more."
you grew up. To
Like,
ascend is to grow up. Okay, without all that spiritual good death, growing up is what the goal is. Okay, you got to
right.
get into who you are. It's no different from a butterfly. Going through its process, going from a caterpillar to a butterfly. You
Mhm.
got before he was a cub. Before he was a lion, he was a cub. Before he was a king, he was a prince. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
You get their step. Everybody grows, and if those that can't come with you, they can't come with you. You move past that frequency. No different from a rocket taking off. They can't come with you. They can't board. They can't get it. They don't understand it. So they're gonna
Mhm.
hold you back, and then you on their time and not your own.
Say right.
Right.
All kids mature in a different speed, so you can't be standing next to somebody your age and expect for them to be just as mature as you.
That's right.
All right. But I think that's a good way to segue into energy vampires,
Oh,
clout chasers,
oh wow.
liars, and backstabbers. No, I'm
They
just playing. But
vessel
yeah,
lovers.
yeah. How? What are the signs? I'm gonna let y'all give y'all signs, but what are the signs of a energy vampire?
Your family.
I'm not gonna answer that because I'm gonna offend people, and I stay offending people. I'm just trying to be nice today.
We gotta set ourselves free so the truth has to come out. It's family who don't believe in you, friends who don't believe in you, jobs that don't work for you, loved ones that don't really love you, uh, the environment if you're not vibing with it. You see what I'm saying? That's toxic energy. Okay. Um, these things keep you at a low vibration. Like when you ascend and you get past it, you no longer want to be around these type of things. Okay.
Hmm.
So that is an energy vampire. Those things are part of me. There's more. There's tons of more. Okay. But those are like the main ones. The environment you hang with,
Yeah.
love, and they'll go at you. They'll
Hmm.
try to change your whole mind. They'll try to change your whole mind. Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Woo woo. Yes, you do because for you to have shifted beyond that ground, beyond that level in the rounds, you have to experience this shit already. That's when resonation comes in. You have to experience it. So a vampire will suck that energy up. Okay, y'all, they everywhere. They everywhere.
All
You
right.
got vampires, and you got good souls manifesting. Okay, they everywhere.
And since they're saying, someone said your volume is low and they can barely hear you. I can hear you, but the chat.
Say I wanted
Go
to.
ahead.
Now that I thought about something, I wanted to add on to the end of that. Say the biggest vampires to be the ones that keep you from sleeping. Those is not even the actual vessels that surround you. They waiting for that witch hour to get in you. You know.
Yeah.
I ain't even got to go too deep on that. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
I was gonna say, to me, an energy vampire is anybody or anything that you feel drained and depressed and sad after dealing with it, and that could be your best friend or who you perceive as your best friend. But every time you get done talking to them, you feel like they done said some slick shit to you, or they made the situation worse. Like we went to them for advice, but now you feel worse. Or every time you're starting to do something and somebody gives you the negative side of it, like they try to put it in the ether, like those are energy vampires to me. And when you're sitting by yourself, they've already tagged you. When you're interacting with it, they already tagged you. And like you said, when you lay down, when you by yourself, oh, it's on and popping. They snatching your energy, and it's like that. That's why some people can't be alone.
Yeah.
Because
Right, that makes sense.
Yeah.
because they know, like, soon as I'm by myself, all the bad stuff is just gonna just come to the forefront, and that entity is just gonna be having a meal deal. They having a meal deal on your soul.
They will be there.
I said we should make the biggest sage bundle you can find and just literally burn it around the world. Just pass it house to house. Just keep passing it like that.
Yeah. How they do that thing? They was doing this thing where they drop the shit like this. Just drop a sage to the next person.
That would be fire.
Oh yeah.
That would be fire, yo.
She just created a whole new challenge. Fuck going to Jordans across the screen. Forget switching your makeup and your clothes. Who's passing around some good spirits? That's the question.
Stage,
Right. Because that's energy in itself. Now, yes, it lifts vibration, but it also keeps them programmed when they do that. You see what I'm saying? Their program is, I like my days, so I'm gonna pass it on and tell them you gotta read between the lines. I'm passing my knowledge to this person, and guess what? They believe in what I believe in. Now I'm gonna pass my knowledge to this. So see, you gotta use this as a positive force. Okay, let's pass that knowledge to the next, to the next person. Each one speaks one. So it's very important.
Now, can we kind of break down a little bit spell casting? Because I think people get confused. Like when I say spell casting, I mean like putting forth manifestations, trying to manipulate the ether to fit the reality that you want. And that could be through mantras, that could be through meditation, that could be through repetition, that could be through actually using herbs and spells and candles and that sort of thing. But I in my head, witchcraft is when the intent is ill, when the intent is to control, to hurt, when the intent is to to hurt instead of heal. And to me, that's the difference between spell casting and witchcraft. Can y'all elaborate, or do y'all agree or disagree?
No, I agree. It's definitely the intent of your actions. And see, I teach that free will is not free because you pay for every action. Each action has a reaction, so you pay for it, good or bad. So when we teach that free will is free, you're casting a spell on yourself. So now you believe that you can do what you want, and what does everybody do? I do what I want. I do what I want, and guess what happens? You end up in jail. You end up dead. Some of you may end up rich, but
Yeah.
friends. So it's good and bad. You know what I'm saying? So I agree with what you said. You know what I'm saying? The intent for everything you do will come with some kind of good or bad force, which is witchcraft. Okay, so you must be mindful of the decisions that you make and your next move, because mind you, intuition already has, your soul already has something lined up for you. The goal is to
Mm-hmm.
stay aligned. Your goal is to stay aligned. If
Yep.
you allow someone else, toxic, which is witchcraft, which is toxic relationships, all this good stuff we're talking about, come and tell you to to believe in something other than you yourself, then they are trying to take you off your path. Okay, you don't want to do that. The goal is to stay aligned. So be mindful of witchcraft. It can come in your children, it can come in your family, it can come in your friends, it can come in your jobs, it can come
Mm-hmm.
in all kinds of things. Mind you, the root of all evil is money.
Right.
Each and every portal has been driven by money.
Their own currency.
Yep. That's that whole great power over the
Mm-hmm.
world. Yes, we may need supplies, but there are also free sources out there that can help you survive. So now, besides having money, you have places like, you know, food stamps, child support, all these avenues where you don't have to work. So if you put yourself back into the program of working, you know what I'm saying, and do the things, the people that's getting these assistance, excuse me, I'm gonna get off topic, but it'll get there. Um, that's free living. So you shouldn't be like stressing it as much as you stressing it right now. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like we have to be mindful that we on this path, but what you doing behind your, little doors is your business.
All
So
right.
build, build, ladies, mostly you build, okay, and you take what you got and you rock with. So you don't have to be out there trying to chase a dream that you're never going to get anyway because of the simple fact that they programmed it that way. Okay, so be mindful how you move your mind around because you're putting spells on yourself, not accepting the fact that hey, I'm living free. So you putting on a spell. I gotta be this lawyer, this business person. But you live
Mm-hmm.
in free. To be a lawyer, you want to have to not worry about shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because you're programming yourself, and that's witchcraft on the self. Put that spells on your own damn self.
And I think people need to recognize that money is the physical form of your energy units. Like you're trading your life force for money, and
Yeah,
however
working all
much
day
money
punching the
you get,
clock.
exactly. Like that's you're literally trading your time, your essence, yourself, your physical self for money. So if you're going to do that, then that needs to be flipped and recycled for your benefit, not to just keep going to that job or going to that negative area
Yeah.
because you're not happy. There, anybody who is not living in their purpose is not happy.
No, they will
And
never.
your purpose could be fucking digging holes, but if you work at McDonald's, you're not happy.
You know
So
what? Though? It's the small shit. Oh, I want to have a big ass gold chain. So you going to do all this shit to get that gold chain, right?
mm-hmm.
Instead of thinking like, you know what, maybe I need to go to a gold mine and dig it up myself because you can do that. There's minerals everywhere. You feel what I'm saying? The
Right.
earth the earth moves, it shifts. You see what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So the minerals underneath travel. You see what I'm saying? It travels. So
Yep.
you can like you see how like if you live by the beach, I live by the beach area. Um, People go out there with them detectives and they find all kinds of gold and coins and shit because they know there's stuff that sweep up on the water, but there's also shit that if you dropped it yesterday, most likely the water's gonna bring it up to land. So we gotta be mindful that we could find materials and
Right.
stuff like that everywhere. Like they say, pay attention to
Abundant.
smaller things, right? Like somebody made out of nowhere drop. I found money, about 2 weeks ago. That shit was like $35. You know what I'm saying? So, you gotta learn how to do it, man. Like I know I can get off topic here and there, but I got so much shit to say. It will take you. You got to be fast.
Nah, it's anything that ancestors, the spirits is telling you to put out. This is the
Let me.
platform for
So
it.
I want to add on something to the back of that.
Yeah,
So when you are doing all of this, what you want to call crafting, it's like you don't want to call it witchy or anything like that. I don't know what you want to say. So
yeah,
you just really do got to be careful about how you're asking the next realms for things, because you will mess around and ask for it in the wrong way, and you're gonna receive it just like that, way too much than what you really needed. And hold on, I was gonna add on to what was you just saying there?
which part?
Lost my train of thought. But
Around quick.
yeah, just skip to the next thing. I remember.
The rotation of the earth, or was it about?
Was it the finding materials and living more?
Oh yeah, finding materials. So I would manifest the things that I need all the time. So like, say we're sitting in the house and I'm like, man, it is hot in here. I wish I had a fan. And then I'm like, man, I'm not paying the $10-$20 to go to the dollar store to buy a fan. The next day I'll go to work and I would come into the back area and it would be brand new fans sitting right there. And they're like, yep, we're throwing that in the trash. I'm like, no, you're not. There's been times I've found gold, I've found rubies, I've found diamonds, I found cash. Like I remember one time I was down on my luck and I just had my first son. We had no diapers. We didn't have anything. I didn't have a job. She couldn't work because she just had the baby. The struggle was real. I walked outside and found $40 right on the curb. I was like,
just answer.
You in tune, like it's very important. If y'all in tune, you can get what you like. Don't be so greedy. Like, yeah, I want $1 million. You know,
facts.
so they know what they watching. We always being watched, so they know what you need. You're being guided all day long. When you ain't got your parents guiding you, there's their parents, which is your most high family members up there in the Astral Plane, helping you. So when you
saying they know it's you because you're holding their DNA.
Yeah, you know who you are, and see, and this is why they want you to be mindful who you deal with out there, because they have to manifest down to this day turn. You see what I'm saying? It's a cycle of life. So you bring down your astral family, which is your whoever they want to call it stuff, and they don't really call it no mom and dad and shit like that. This is human.
Right.
This is human shit. They are greater and grander than this bullshit that we got.
Eons.
Oh my God! Like
sure.
The power. Like this is why the upper realm, the physical, the higher ups in the physical realm is so successful, because they're using our power to get them to the top. We are the rug. They're stepping on us. We are stepping stones. They're gonna step on us till they get to the top. This is why they're there. But if you awaken, you will not, like if you're at the bottom of the steps and you know your worth and you know what you are, you will knock the rest of them standing on your shoulders down, and you will become the top. You see what I'm saying? You will become the top. So you got to learn how to use witchcraft or mind control or your programming correctly. Don't use it to get against you. Use it to go forward. Use it to bust down all those walls trying to block you from your blessings. Because yes, we got walls in front of you. Okay? Yes, we got walls. Can you make up for all the toxic stuff you've been doing in your life? Yes, you can. You can choose to do it right now. You know what I'm saying? You can embody yourself right now and just ride out. Okay? You have to choose, and you have to be genuine. The spirit is not going to come down to a toxic person who don't want to genuinely ascend.
Yep. And that's part of knowledge of self too. Like you have to know, like, is this really a problem for me? Or am I just complaining just to complain? Or am I sad because I want to be sad? Like you have more power. The next subject I wanted to talk about though is mediumship, because I want people to understand that in the hands of somebody who don't know what they're doing, this is just a card. This is just paper and paint. Everybody isn't linked to the source. Like you can tell when somebody is trying to sound mystical or trying to pretend like they know what they're talking about, versus somebody who really can connect with you spiritually and draw that power in and say, what does this person need to know?
Gotta really tell you, you really do. Like, it's no different from how people would say signs and synchronicity. A card is the same way. If you turn your head consciously, if you just look at something, and that's the sign for you, okay? If you was like, oh, I wanted to go to the club tonight, but then you turn around and you see no, or something always trying to stop you here, there, and there.
Yeah.
That's your spirit guys telling you, no. That's it. No.
Mm-hmm.
Or like you always get it. So when I use my card, okay, I channel in the message. It's not always about, yes, the cards validate what I say, It validates what
Hmm.
I say. That means I have to know it already. See what I'm saying? And if I don't get a clear message, then I get a clarifier, okay, which is to clarify what I was thinking because I was hearing it. But I was
Yep.
always channeling whoever I was channeling was speaking to. So you can get your divine, your divinity tapped in, and you can get the other person that taps in too. So you can get confused from hearing two different voices. But to get you ask for your clarifier to clarify what you just know. But yeah, you can definitely tell the difference between someone real and someone fake because
Hmm.
your soul will tell you. Your soul will tell you the same thing they told you when you met someone. No,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
or yes, or no. Get it all the time. You have to lift it. You have to lift that power. You have to give yourself power back so that you can tap in. You know,
Yep.
but using the cards are a good way to tap into your frequency. But some people get the cards and they confuse.
Hmm.
Confusion is caused by imbalanceness with the self. See what I'm saying? So if you confused, you're still confused. That means your ego just popped up and said, "Hell no." You know what I mean? Like your soul
Right.
didn't do it. Then your soul, then your ego balanced it out and said, "Hell no." So you got the good and bad on your shoulders.
Hmm.
Okay? You got to learn to hit that devil off and take the righteous route. So it becomes common sense after a while.
Yep.
Becomes
So, so I mentioned knowledge of self, and one of the things I know for a fact about having knowledge of self is being able to accept and balance your feminine and masculine energies inside. I know you are big on that, so could you expound on what divine feminine and masculine energy is?
yeah, okay. Because you people get it confused. I was gonna get deep.
Hmm.
Hold on a second. Let me clear this out because I do this for a living. Okay. And y'all gotta keep up when I do this. Okay. So when it comes to masculine and feminine, okay, negative, positive, positive, negative, okay, because we both equal each other out. I'm not talking about positive and positive. There's no power there. Negative, negative, there's no power there. Positive and negative, there's power. Negative and positive, there's always power. But it has to be balanced. If a feminine, like myself, masculated, and I'm going to admit I'm a very tough, strong female who taps into my masculine energy a lot. Okay. Um, you tend to want to lead by what is stronger, which is the masculine side. Okay. For some reason, the physical body believes that the masculine is empowered. So what it is, it's programmed itself to be a masculine. Okay. So a lot of people tend to want to walk that path mentally and try to be physically when they're not, but vice versa. So whatever you lead with, every woman, every man has a masculine and a feminine balance. You have a masculine and feminine balance. That's why your brain is split in two parts.
Two hemispheres.
Yes, and if you notice, one side of your body is more masculated than the other side, or more
Hmm.
feminine than the other side, or
Left brain, right brain.
yes. So it will show you. Okay. So when it comes to somebody say yin yang, up and down, in and out, yes and no. But yes, it's very real. So if you overly like myself, I have to balance myself out with my feminine side. Okay, I know this. I'm working on this. But at the end of the day, when you admit to that, that will start to shift. You know what I'm saying? So you will start to accept the other half of yourself, which is the masculine or feminine side, and you will become one now. So instead of you believing that I'm a female, so I can't have masculine traits, that's you disconnected from your masculine side. Instead of saying I am a female who do understand, recognize, and understand that I am both parts of elements.
Hmm.
Nothing could work without both elements. They're both parts of each other. You can't conceive a child without wanting what you got. But
Yeah, I was gonna say everybody was a woman at one point.
yeah, but even that, like I said before, when people would say, they about their DNA or whatever, but even your DNA made a choice. Okay, your DNA made a
Hmm.
choice for you to have this physical experience. Your DNA chose you to be a man. Your DNA chose you to be a woman. So You want to accept that and move forward. You don't want to say, nah, okay, well, then I'm going to change myself. I don't want to be this. You're
Right.
going against yourself. You're going against the God.
Mhm.
That's straight wrong right there. That's straight
Yep.
wrong. So then it's like we still can't conceive life. You still can't manifest life. But they need you. They need you to participate. They cannot come down here to protect this planet, serve this planet until this is what they're trying to stop. They can't come down. They can't manifest down without the two parts. It's common sense, yo. I mean, the ignorance of our minds today is terrible.
Yeah.
I know that I am a female and I must have a masculine. No matter how masculine I may want to be. You know what I'm saying? And vice versa. Okay, it's very important to love your true self. Sometimes you guys can switch roles. Okay, like me and
Yep.
my husband, I switched roles energetically. You can exchange energy. He could be the positive at one time. I could be the negative. I could be the negative at one time. He could be the positive. It is one soul, two separate bodies where we manifest down. It's one God, one light energy that comes down into multiple bodies. If you earn that power, and it's very important, you must earn your power back so that you can become multiple beings that can be together within polygamy, poly, whatever fuck you want to call it. Because I don't believe in physical polygamy. I believe in spiritual polygamy. Okay,
All right.
spiritual polygamy is the masculine and feminine. Okay, spiritually you have to earn that right to manifest down in multiple bodies at the same time. You have to earn that power. In the flesh, you want to take it. You take it. You want to take this one, take that one, that one, that one. That's not how it works because that's what it's going to backfire. Didn't
Right.
get permission from that higher light. You didn't get permission from that most high. That's something to be earned. If you're really doing your job and you really got it going, they will manifest you. They may bring someone who needs to grow up, because you have children that's coming in what they would call new messengers. Okay, we're the old downloads. We're the middle downloads because we're young still. But the old downloads are going out. New downloads are coming in. What we will call children. Okay, the body is of a child. The mindset. Some people say I'm old soul, old soul. When you're wise beyond your years,
Mm-hmm.
it means that you are wise in mind and the frequency and the energy must match. Okay, so you go through your cycle as a caterpillar to a butterfly. Okay, you have to grow. But masculine and feminine must need those. You need those.
Yep.
But then um when you do find your part, your other counterpart, then you must bring down your heavenly guys because they chose you. Chose this one, they chose that one. Okay? Then you put the DNA together because they know what you got, they know what you don't got. So they pick you,
Right.
bring you down, they manifest. Okay? So now it's their turn to get on the path. Okay? So we gotta break the cycle of toxicity. And the
Yep.
toxicity is just having babies with any and every fucking body. Because we can.
And
No.
that, yeah, and I feel like that's why I always push natal charts always because that solves a lot of the issues that we have within ourselves and within our community because we wouldn't mesh our energies together with people that we know wouldn't work if we knew ourselves,
Yeah.
if we acknowledge ourselves. um Crown, is there anything you'd like to add before we go on to the next
My bad for hopping up. I just had UPS just pop up at my door, and I got a full glass door, so I could see a weird figure just standing outside for a minute and tweaked me. I'm like,
They said
oh hell no.
I might have to fuck somebody up real quick.
Y'all got it. Y'all said it all right then and there. Y'all cleared that all up.
Well, Spirit is telling me that it's time to show the lesson, the lecture, the PowerPoint. It's short. It's not that long. Spirit Realm by Studio 2 Groovy. What is the spirit realm? Spirit realm is the world or realm inhabited by spirits, both good or evil, of various spiritual manifestations. Mind you, when I go through this, if y'all want to add to what I'm talking about, go ahead and stop me and do your thing. What is a spirit? A spirit is the vital principle or animating force within all living things. Spirit is often used to refer to the consciousness. Animism is the belief that objects, places, and creatures all possess a distinct spiritual essence. Animism perceives all things animals, plants, rocks, rivers, weather systems, human handiwork, and perhaps even words as animated and alive. All material phenomena have agency. There exists no distinction between the spiritual and physical or material world. Soul or spirit or sentience, exists not only in humans but also in other animals, plants, rocks, geographic features such as mountains or rivers or other entities of the natural environment, water sprites, vegetation deities, and tree sprites. And I'm going to stop there because I know for a fact that there are water spirits because I am a Scorpio and my element is water. And whenever I just stand by water, it feels like it the waves are speaking to me and it's taking away all my worries and
So that's
everything.
all water, just like getting in the shower. I'm a Scorpio too.
Yeah,
Say I'll literally just run all of the water out the hot water tank, just standing there.
facts.
I like the water element. It's definitely beautiful. That's why I haven't left where I'm at because I love hearing the sound of water just flows with the wave of my frequency. So
It speaks to you, right?
yeah, see, I'm a Virgo. I can tie it to any element that I want to, as long as I master my own. Like I would say, like the kid from Avatar, he has to master, and for him to master it, he has to study all elements. That's exactly how I felt. I felt like, and I feel this way because it's true. I've experienced it. Like when I go, I mean, I just love to travel. I love to travel and see different stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But it's very beautiful. That water element. It's probably one of the peaceful ones. To be honest with
Yes. Oh, and also, I for some reason playing with clay or like dust on the ground, like that's very relaxing and soothing. Like cold earth
you. The earth element.
Yeah,
feels good to me. I don't know why, but it
and stick your
does.
feet right in the ground.
Yes. Or like press your palms on it. Yeah.
They would call it like wood boy. It's like when you love the nature of life, but like you should look up wood boys, and they like the nature of life. They like trees. They like water. They like rocks. They like these kind of elements.
Text that to me. Text that to me, please, because
Oh yeah,
I am gonna look into that.
yeah.
Because I'll fuck around and forget. But
I'll text you.
defining souls. Souls is the incorporeal essence of a living being. Soul or psyche, to breathe, comprises the mental abilities of a living being. Reason, character, feeling, consciousness, memory, perception, thinking, etc. And do souls really exist? I'm going to show a video where we're going to watch somebody pass away.
Right.
As soon as it decides to work.
Say, be patient with the spirit.
Y'all
Oh,
saw that, right?
That's like astral projection.
Yep.
but it was very prevalent. All of the what do you want to say? All of the dust in the air, the little light reflections, all of that stuff picked up that actual soul moving.
Yep. Because you see, it hesitates.
Yeah, because it had to recognize that it was, it probably took a look back. That's why.
Yeah. Like
But
it's.
definitely real. I've had fell into a slight coma when I was young, and I came up out of my body and I didn't even know I was gone. You know what I'm saying? And when I looked down at my body, I didn't even recognize that was me.
Whew.
So it's definitely real. It's definitely real. I don't know if
See,
that video is real, but I know that the experience is real. That's like astral traveling, but the way you saw that spirit leave the body, it's not allowed to come back. Okay.
right.
But
Yeah.
with astral traveling, it's like you're a genie. You got that. You're attached to that bottle. That you see that like when you rub a genie lamp, you rub it and you come up out of it. Okay.
There's
Um.
a whole umbilical cord attached
Yeah,
to
I
the
was gonna
bottom of
say,
you,
yeah, we
though.
have a cord. Yep.
Yeah, we still attached. Like when you astral travel, look back. Okay. If you're having an out of body experience, look back and you will see the line. You will see the line. It's like a light. It's like a string of light. You will see it.
I got two
Yeah.
things I want to add to that because I had a dream. I don't know I don't know what to call it. Maybe you can help me decipher what it is. And I feel I probably told this story before, so I'll make it quick. Um, when I was a kid, I had a dream the night before I got into this car accident that I had died, and I was in this like ethereal plane, and it was like millions of kids as far as the eye can see, like just all in a straight row. And but it was kind of like a hospital. And I remember at the end of the dream, I asked the lady, "Was I dead?" And she said, "I don't know. Open your eyes." And I opened my eyes, and I was in my bed. But later on that day, I got hit by a car. I was on my bike, and the car hit me, and I flew. And I guess I had blacked out when I hit the ground. I had the same exact dream, the same sequence. And at the end of it, I asked her, "Was I dead?" And she said, "I don't know. Open your eyes." And I woke up in the middle of the street. And I've always wondered, like, what was that? Like, did I have a premonition? Did I like
Yep.
like
You saw your future. You saw your
That
future.
was a baby psychic moment. That's what that was. Your third eye as a youngin was like on
Yep.
its own little movement. You wasn't even knowing then. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah. See, when you're a child like that, you're not as influenced as you would as an adult. So you won't experience um, the interruptions in your mind as you would if you was an adult. So yeah, you had tapped into your future abilities, your psyche abilities. You know what I'm saying? When you see,
mm-hmm.
so yeah, that's deep.
Yeah, I will never forget that. Okay, so plane. A plane is conceived as a subtle state, level, or region of reality. Each plane corresponding to some type, kind, or category of being. There are 7 planes of existence, and look out for that because I'm going to make a video on the 7 planes of existence. But we're just going to first focus today on the astral plane. The astral plane, also called the astral world, is where consciousness goes after physical death. All people possess in the astral body. Astral body is a subtle body intermediate between the intelligent soul and the mental body, composed of a subtle material. The astral body is sometimes said to be visible as an aura of swirling colors. Our material body, is the vehicle for our astral body soul energy. And I always call it the chakra mode
Okay.
because when I astral project, it's always like a shimmery light of the chakras. It's always an outline. I'm not a full body, but it's just like I see the light of the outline of my body in light. Um, how to travel to the astral plane? The astral plane can be visited consciously through astral projection, meditation, and mantra, near-death experience, and lucid dreaming. And here's some African imagery, ancient African imagery of astral projection. And the term used in esotericism to describe an intentional out of body experience, OBE. An out of body experience is an experience in which a person experiences the world from a location outside their body, and OBE is a form of autoscopy, literally seeing self. Ancient Egyptian teachings present the soul, Ba, as having the ability to hover over the physical body via the Ka or subtle body. And I'm going to break down ancient Egyptian soul in another video as well. And here's just a video of astral projection explained. It's probably like 12 minutes or so. Is there anything you guys would like to add before the video plays?
Master astral traveling in the room first. That way you can look around in your environment. Okay? It means don't tell your spirit not to go too far, okay, until you're comfortable.
All
Okay.
right. Oh, let me ask you this too before we play this video. I've had experiences where I'm not asleep, but it feels like a sleep state, and I feel a force pulling my soul out of my body. And
That's
it's like, and there's times where like I'll visualize a golden armor around me, and then the force will just give up, and like I just get thrown back into my body, and I wake up. Do
well,
you have it? Go ahead.
that's you coming out. That's you coming out. And when you resist it, it will let you go back down. It will let you go back into your body. That's you raising up out of your body, your consciousness raising up out of your body. But you have to master it little by little. The best way to do it when you about to fall asleep, you start to feel yourself come in and out, in and out, in and out. And then once you finally let go physically, it will come out on its own. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
because it seems like it never works when I'm like, okay, when I try to force it out, it doesn't happen. But when it's like, I guess when I'm like super calm and I'm not thinking about anything, my shit just gets to
Yeah,
slipping out.
when you let go of expectation and
Yeah.
fear and worry, you are setting yourself free. See what I'm saying? You set yourself free, so that's what's happening. But next time you do that, say what's up.
Yeah,
Say
I'd
what's
be
up.
like freaking myself out, I
Don't,
guess.
don't be scared of it. Don't be
I'll be
scared of
like,
it.
what the fuck? No, because usually, like I like to be in control. So when I feel myself slipping, I just be like, whoa. Oh, I didn't. Kiki is in the building.
Man,
I
My laptop is trash as well as me. So this is the one podcast I try not to miss. I'm very upset. Please do, please don't blame me. It's my laptop. I hate it so much.
will. Well, we still got a lot to cover after I play this astral projection video. We're gonna. The next topic is going to be about psychic abilities and things of that nature. But
I
here's
feel
the
like I
astral.
missed a lot. I feel like I just missed like.
I mean, we've been chopping it up for a good hour,
That's
almost an hour.
wrong.
That temporarily inhabits a physical body. Astral projection is probably one of the coolest things you will ever experience. Imagine this scenario. You're lying in your bed, eyes shut, completely relaxed, and totally awake. After a few minutes, you feel your body becoming heavy and numb, and then you start rising up, floating a few feet above your bed. You look down and find that your physical body is sleeping peacefully on the bed. You notice that there is a glowing, pulsating bluish white cord connected to your physical body. You are calm, relaxed, and awake. This is not a new experience for you, and you feel a blissful sensation of peace because you are now unchained from your physical shell. You are experiencing a joyous feeling of exhilaration and freedom from bounds. You look around the room and see that everything seems to sparkle. Everything seems to have life, more vibrant. You fly through the ceiling and into the sky and look down at your house, becoming smaller and smaller. And soon you can see the curvature of the earth. You think of a friend of yours who lives across the world in Sweden. By thinking about him, you consciously go to him and you zoom across the world, and soon you're coming down into a house. You see your friend eating cookies at his computer. He's wearing blue jeans and a white t shirt. Soon you realize it's time for you to go back, and you think about your sleeping body. You find yourself back over your house, slowly moving down into your bedroom, and then back into your sleeping body. You wake up and go to your computer. Your friend is on Skype, and you tell him what you just saw in your dream. Your friend gapes in amazement. That's absolutely right, he says. My friends, welcome to the world of astral projection.
Shout out Spirit Science. This is a good
Astral
channel.
projection is a phenomenon that is becoming rapidly more popular in the last.
What were you saying?
I was just saying I love this channel. That's all.
Yeah, this channel is fire. Shout out
I
to them.
definitely was subscribed back in the day.
yeah,
Yeah,
like that's the day of the beginning.
yeah. I love the art and I love the way that they break stuff down.
He's supposed to have some tarot cards too.
I gotta see. I gotta check that out.
Yeah, he had made some tarot cards.
Hmm.
Uh-oh. He about to hop on Amazon. No, I'm just kidding.
Stop it.
It is a process where the temporarily leaves the physical body independently, while the physical body remains still and passive throughout. This results in observing the world from a point of view other than that of the physical body, and by means other than those of the physical senses.
Yo.
While astral projecting, however, you retain a very high level of waking consciousness during the experience, and can remember the event in every detail upon returning to the physical body. For many people, this happens randomly while asleep, becoming conscious in the middle of a dream. If you haven't, odds are somebody you know has. This is a very common experience, which is also known as lucid dreaming or out of body experience, OBE for short. This may sound crazy, but it really isn't. It's just relatively outside of the average human consciousness. In fact, we all experience this out of body state every night when we sleep. Most of these projections are unconscious because we're not trained to remember them. We'll be talking more about that in a bit. Astral travel was also known about in ancient times. The Egyptians called this the light body, Ka. They left inscriptions and drawings on rock walls depicting the soul leaving the human body. The Tibetans called it a double body, which housed the soul. Many Greek philosophers like Plato, Herodotus, and Hermotimus all talked about this as well. It's even written about in the Bible, for example, in the Apocalypse of John, and as well as the epistles of Paul and Tarsus. Reports confirm that at least 1 in 10 people have experienced a conscious OBE, either spontaneous or controlled. Spontaneous OBEs can occur at any time, while sleeping, during sickness, under medication, during an accident, or even while meditating. Controlled is like it sounds, willingly leaving the body. Before we continue, let's talk a little more about dimensions that we established an understanding of in Lesson 7. The dimension I'd like to talk about in specific is the 4th dimension, which is also generally referred to as the Astral Realm. Those who have visited the astral typically find themselves in an environment where all senses seem greatly magnified. These senses are not our normal physical senses, but inner astral senses. Thoughts can actually be seen to take shape instantly, and anything desired can be manifested by means of the powers of the imagination in the very process of creation. It is the ultimate place for true creation to take place because you are only limited by yourself in what you can create. The astral plane vibrates at a much higher frequency than the physical plane. There is no gravity, or at least if there is, you're not bound by it. You're existing in these higher dimensions all at once, though less in the higher ones than here. In lesson 1, we talked about the thought realm. At that time, I couldn't really say 4th dimension, it would have made no sense. But ultimately, that's where your thoughts are manifested. Even right now, as you're watching this, you're manifesting thoughts or ideas into this realm. From my understanding, emotions manifest on the 5th dimension, or it could be the 6th, as they are much more powerful. When you visit the astral realm, you'll learn that it's basically divided into 3 sections. This spans across different dimensional overtones that we covered previously. They're usually just called lower, middle, or higher astral planes. The difference is their vibratory frequency. The lower astral plane is vibrating at a very low frequency. It's relatively dark and more primal. Some have described it as the places of Dante's Inferno, and others think of it as purgatory. Many lost souls reside here. It's usually also where people go when they're dreaming, as well as where you're exploring when you are astral projecting, unless you know how to raise your own frequencies into higher realms. It takes a long time to get there, though. The middle realm is a plane full of double rainbows of vivid colors and exquisite beauty. It would be impossible to try and rationalize this place. Everything, including inanimate objects, have auras of energy emanating from them. Time is a great illusion to us, and in these realms, time will seem distorted. Many people have said that they are able to perceive past and future events. The higher astral planes are called the heavens by the Christians, and the Summerland by the spiritualists. This place is beyond comprehension for most people, but it is a very pure, angelic realm. In fact, this is where the angels reside. Oh, yes, angels are real. Remember when I said you were existing on higher dimensions as well? Well, angels would be a part of your higher self. To this day, all over the world, people report of being visited by angels. This is where they're from. As the dimensional levels go higher and higher, less and less has been documented. For few people have actually been there to write about them, and even those who have a hard time putting such experiences into human words. So, let's talk about some benefits of astral travel. First-hand experience gives us the unique opportunity to experience and explore beyond the limits of our physical senses. It gives us the ability to obtain first-hand knowledge of our existence. Recalling past lives. We learn more about ourselves by understanding our past lives. Most people on Earth have been reincarnating over and over for the past 13,000 years since the to-be-discussed fall I mentioned in Lesson 7. As we project more and more, we begin to have healthy recollections of past lives. Identify reasons for existence. You may even recall the purpose that you came to this lifetime on Earth for. This information can help us get to know ourselves better, overcome traumas, self-cure certain illnesses, and expand our sense of fraternity and universalism. Remember, you don't have a purpose except the one you give yourself. Do you remember what that purpose was? Flight. Probably the best part about astral projection. I've only had 4 or 5 out-of-body experiences personally, but in all of them, I just ended up flying around. One time, I even flew through space. In the astral, even the sky isn't the limit. You can glide through the air like a balloon, or Superman around the world at breakneck speeds. I can't stress enough how fun this is. If you're gonna astral project, you'll probably just want to fly all the time. Meeting guides. You can meet up with your non physical guides. They have had many names throughout history: your higher self, your guides, your mentors, guardian angels, or simply your helpers. One time I was in meditation and I asked my guides to help me with astral projection, and they told me that they were helping, but I would still have to leave my body consciously on my own. Damn spirit guides. I wanted them to just pull me out. Other benefits also include overall well being, a reduction in hostility, increased psychic abilities, accelerated personal development, inner calmness, an increased quest for answers, an increased respect and zest for life, meeting deceased loved ones, increased intelligence and memory recall, increased knowledge and wisdom, witnessing other realities, increased self responsibility, increased spirituality, healing, and the biggest one of all, an understanding of life after death. Through astral projection, individuals are provided with irrefutable personal evidence that we are immortal. The physical body can die, but the consciousness lives forever. It reassures us that there is a life after death. People who have even one OBE are generally transformed, having a much greater faith in existence beyond the physical. Fear of death is just fear of the unknown. Once you separate from your body, you absolutely know that you continue after death. Dying may not be a scary experience, but rather a wondrous spiritual adventure into the next realm of being. Death is something to be embraced with excitement and anticipation when the time arrives. That's key, by the way. When the time arrives. I'm not advocating you kill yourself, especially at this point in human history. You're going to want to be around for what's happening. On that topic, it's time to talk about heaven and hell. When you astral project, one of the first things you realize is that you are in control of your reality more instantly than on the physical. If you want to fly, you fly. If you want some kind of flying car, you can materialize it right in front of you. Though I'm not sure why you'd need it. The concept of heaven and hell came from this understanding. When you die, you return to the fourth dimension. If you're a good person, you will create a good reality. Good people create good afterlife in higher dimensions. Then they will hang around in that realm for however long they want, and eventually, if they choose to, return to Earth and start a new lifetime. If you are a bad person, full of hatred or fear or anger, you will also return to this fourth dimension, but you will create a reality full of hatred and fear and anger. Ultimately, heaven and hell are the same place, and it's what you create it to be. For the record, this is
Let me.
connected to your
Oh
physical
shit!
body.
I didn't mean to do that. Let me pause that because I literally said that in a debate earlier that heaven, and hell are mind states. They are literally like the emotions that you feel, the realm of your thinking, and you will be eternally in that state of existence if you were drawing in negative energy more than positive energy, you'll be in a hell state. But if you drew more positive energy than negative, then you'll be in the heaven state. And each and every person is going to feel both realms because if you're in the middle way, you're going to do some good and you're going to do some bad. I was just talking about that.
Like you can have heaven and hell as you speak now.
Yep. Facts. And it's all with the decisions that you make. Let me.
I don't want to. I don't want to be in that. I don't want to be in hell. I'll be honest with you. I don't want to live that torturous life. I want to live a blissful. So I made the choice. Hopefully, you guys make y'all.
Yeah. All I know is that if I ever do get to create my good afterlife, I ain't coming back here. I'm done.
Facts.
Earth is ghetto.
Right.
The bosses are mean. The people are nasty. All y'all ugly. I'm playing, but no, I really
Honestly, I feel like this is my last lifetime too. I'm done.
Yeah.
yeah, and I'm only
That's sad. All four of us agree with that. Like, yeah, because we know enough. Once we make it up and we're like, all right, I've manifested this perfect heavens. I'm not coming back here. I'm not going to waste my time in even bringing back my energy to this horrible planet with all these ugly people.
I mean, it's like the way it's going, I don't want to come back here. I don't want to come back here where they just playing with your mind and make you forget who you are and all this toxic energy. No.
But a lot of us, we have to remember too that a lot of us were chosen to change the frequency of the planet. And that's why we're fearless in the information and what we're doing.
Yeah.
But no, I will never come back here.
Well, I tried. I just started and everything already a mess. I'm good. I'm gonna just do what I can do now, and then I'm out.
Yeah.
Y'all need help. Y'all better ask project y'all way over here. I ain't doing it. I want to be a spirit guide. I actually do want to be a spirit guide to somebody. I don't know who, but to somebody.
Oh my
So
God. I feel like a spirit guide in the flesh right now. I don't
right.
want to do that either because I don't even want to see what it says that they do. No. I just want to go and sit my pina colada somewhere.
Yeah.
And the sun's always rise and I'm just chilling. I don't even got
You said they bottomless. Bottomless pina coladas.
So where you never get drunk, you just get buzzed. Like, this drink is delicious.
I like to talk. I just like to talk. But yeah, no, I'm not coming back here. I don't want nothing to do with Earth at all.
0 out of 10. Would not recommend. Don't do it, y'all. Don't do it.
In the beer, here we come.
Right. Facts. Take me, not just playing. But yeah.
And then your body just starts slipping on. You're like, wait.
Right. Look, if I get to floating on this screen, somebody call fail.
For real though, master astral projection because, like I said, if you leave long enough, you have a choice to whether you want to stay or go. And mind you, astral projection, you're already gone. So the body will create off itself. But I'm just saying, there's always a way, even through death.
Am I the only person that feels like bodies never look like how the person looked when they were animated?
Yeah, when they were like, you talking about when they in the castle, right?
Yeah, they never looked like I remember.
Younger, they look so much younger, and like the people I've seen, because I have this gift where I can see somebody if I know you, I will see your soul before you pass away. Your soul will come and tell me that you're about to leave, say goodbye. See what I'm saying? And this is people disconnect from their bodies before it drops. See, you could tell. You can really tell who's about to go. It's in their eyes. You see what I'm saying? But then they'll start to go down. Like they start to lose all hope in life. The body just starts to drop. So
peep the question in the comments.
What's that? I can't even see the
comments.
Oh. Zen. Check them out.
Do you? Oh, of course.
Yeah, we do.
Of course.
Well, I'm gonna keep it 100. What's mine, Kiki? I forget.
Oh, I gotta redo it. I don't remember. I want to guess 8, but I'm probably very wrong.
I'm definitely a 9. I know that.
I'm 13.
I can't remember mine at the moment. I'm gonna keep it 100. I remember researching it several times, but you gotta keep up on it to remember it. You know what I mean?
You know what? For people, I've been thinking about this for a while now, and I'm glad somebody asked about it. If you want your life path broken down, hit me up because I know how to do it. And I ain't going to charge too much. Probably $5, $5 or $10. I don't know. I haven't decided. But if you want that life path number deciphered, I definitely know how to do it. And right here, the divine triangle, this will get you right. So if you want your life path number, please hit your boy up because I know how to do it because I did it to myself several times. So I know exactly how to do it. Like even my basic birth date, 10/23, I know how to break that down. You know,
I think it's buried somewhere, but yeah, definitely hit up Sudi. You know, I have one. I just did my own. I was just like, I don't know if other people. It's pretty easy though. But Sudi, he got it down pat. So
I do.
I have to hit you up for that.
Because every number has a letter. Every letter has the energy unit, aka number. So,
Mhm.
and there's all types of signs and symbolisms everywhere. You just have to know what to look for and what you're looking at. Like I'm gonna do a video on angel numbers. Yeah.
Put it on the to-do list.
Yeah, my shit is just, yeah. Let me actually write that down.
Yeah. Say planes. Planes was the first one, and then
angel numbers and life path numbers.
Yep.
Boom. Okay. All right. Let's finish this video. Then we're going to go into psychic abilities.
Time.
Mhm.
If you are a bad person, full of hatred or fear or anger, you will also return to this fourth dimension, but you will create a reality full of hatred and fear and anger. Ultimately, heaven and hell are the same place, and it's what you create it to be. For the record, this is how it works in the physical realm as well. We talked about this in lesson 1. You create your own reality. It's just in this dimension, the process is very slow because everything is more dense. You're bound by your physical body. The silver cord that I mentioned earlier, by the way, is the cord that tethers your physical body to your spirit. It connects when your soul connects to the physical body, and when you are astral projecting, it tethers your spirit to your body, and you can see it, but you can't break it. The cord only breaks when you die. Everyone who has ever consciously astral projected will see this cord. It can stretch to infinity and will make sure that no matter how far you go, you can always return to your body. Dreaming! What are dreams? Well, when you're asleep, you are out of body. Your physical body needs rest, but your consciousness, your spirit, does not. So your consciousness returns to higher levels of being for the night. You do this every night. Remember, in higher dimensions, you can create any experience for yourself instantly. Dreams are simply you just creating experiences for yourself out of memories or thoughts or emotions that you have. Usually, while you're dreaming, you're functioning at a very low level of consciousness. You're not trained to remember and consciously experience these realities you're creating. So dreams seem kind of hazy. So when you have a dream and you're pondering the meaning, just
Let me interject with that. I agree, but I think dreams are actually more of a bigger topic than just that because I have experienced other realities where there's been times where I'm watching myself in that reality, and there's been times where I'm actually controlling myself in other realities. So I feel like depending on your consciousness level, there are other you can hop into literally your other lives because this is just one reality, but there's more than one reality, and I think it's like don't quote me because I don't like saying stuff that I'm unsure of, but I believe that I know that there's seven several planes of existence, but I also believe that there's 7 realities too, if I'm not mistaken. And like I've literally, or there may be an infinite number of realities because I've literally hopped into a life and I knew that this isn't my main life, but it was real. I could feel, touch, smell, all the sensations I was experiencing. Have you guys
Yeah, when
ever?
you experience that, can't nobody tell you that you didn't. Like, I know exactly what you're talking about. It
Yeah.
feels so real.
Mhm. I
What?
have, but it wasn't another life. It was literally just like me just tapping into a whole because when I think of dreams, I look for symbolisms of what I guess my spirit guides tell me. You know, they don't tell you directly through word; they tell you through symbolism. At least that's what I believe. So there are times where I will be at the peak of whatever that's negative, and they're like, "Okay, you need a wake up call. Let's go." And then like I don't want to explain the dream because I don't know if that's going to be too long or too much, but I mean, that dream or whatever state of existence I was took me to me realizing what I need to do now. So it's like yeah, that's pretty much what I get from them.
Essence, how do you feel about dreams?
I love it. I take my messages. I get my guides. I speak to my guides. I see people I used to go to school with that passed on. I just love it. I mean, I don't fear the unknown. I embrace it. And when I come down to this realm and I try to tell people like, hey, you know what you can do, you know your abilities, you know the gift you have, they look at me like, oh, what?
Right.
I'm like, do you know you are a powerful being? When you try to uplift people, they try to really down themselves. So I embrace my dream traveling. I embrace my astral traveling. I embrace all of that. Every single drop.
See, it could be that they really don't have those abilities because they aren't on the same type.
That's what I was waiting to speak on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Crown.
Say, most of the people literally all around the earth, they can't even remember what their dream was when they get up. You know what I mean? They can't even fathom. They was just like, no, I was just asleep. They can't even tap into if they even have a soul to be like, yo, this is what my soul did while I was actually asleep. Like, a lot of people don't have that. So a lot of people get mixed up in what's going on in this world and then get sucked into some pollution situation where your brain is so scattered that for the rest of your life you're not going to remember your dreams, and that's how you lose your damn self. Like, people need to sit down and focus before they go to bed and actually have some calm into themselves, and then start thinking about, like, as you're resting and feel like you're drifting off, stay in the consciousness to remember what's going on. That's your first steps to actually be able to project. I like always, I don't want to dig too hard because I am not trying to tell all my information.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've been killed several times in my dreams.
Yes.
Always die. They be like, get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Remember this one, Stu? Every dude has this dream. You're swinging with all your might, but when you hit that person, it's like you hitting them with pillows. And I know I hit hard in real life. I'm like, I'll kill a nigga in my sleep.
Who I am in my dream world is not the same. I'm so aggressive. I'll be doing all kinds of shit, not wicked shit, but like aggressiveness. Like when I try to fight somebody, when I try to face one of you know how when you're in school you go through a situation, you replay it in your dream. I try to face it, and when I finally face it, I can't touch it. Or somehow my reality it just whoop, always die. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
It's all, and I'm running, but I can't move. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yep. That's slow motion running. That's your masculine side, love.
I know.
I've had situations where, like when I was a kid, I would be trying to yell up to my family and warn them of something, but no sound was coming out. And they
I've
were
had
like,
that one too. The dropping off the cliff one or falling off the building, and then once you finally get to the ground, you pull out of your sleep really, really hard.
Mm-hmm.
I want to mention this since we're talking about that, but it's like, okay, in real life, I am very protective of my family. If somebody getting if my little brother, no, I know it's dark, but if my brother, like I see him get kidnapped, oh, somebody's dying. But in
Oh
my
yeah.
dream, I let them get kidnapped or I let them die. I let them, like, I don't know why. I mean, I know why. I'm not going to sit here and do that, but because I understand a certain aspect of myself, but that's like usually like the main things whenever there's someone in my dream that I care about. I even killed someone that I cared about the most in the dream before, and I got it, you know. But
Could
it
it be like that's like your inner self wanting to let people take the consequences of their actions?
no, not really. That's not what I got because that's just only a part of what I told you from like the overall what I dreamed about.
Peep the last two comments.
Oh
Hold
yeah,
on. Hold
I
on.
read
Hold on.
that earlier.
Yeah.
Let me see. Let me see. Yeah, they don't be understanding that we supernatural. Facts. They are very one dimensional minded, for sure. And repeated dreams as well are nudges. Yep. Yep. What lesson are you not
That's my
getting?
computer screen right here. You see how that do that like that?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That's like the dimensions. You gotta
Yeah.
dig in from one and get to the other, and get to the other, and get to the other, and get to the other. You know how deep that goes?
Right. That's
Infinite.
infinite, really. Yeah.
I love it. I'm ready.
And then
Man,
who?
I need to get the courage. I just go as far as just knowing what I do in dreams. My fear, even though I know I'm not supposed to fear anything, it's not scary. It's just when you do it because it's hard. But like my my fear is that I'm gonna meet or see a negative entity when I astral project, and I don't want to do that. I'm afraid I'm just going to see some monster, and I'm just going to have a horrible.
You gotta keep in your mind to manifest that, to not do that, because I thought when I was going through that I was gonna end up bumping into something that was gonna take me over type shit. But in real life I manifested so hard that my dream was so blissful. I don't want to get into it, but it was so blissful, and I'm telling you, I traveled a very far amount of miles to actually get to where I was in that quote unquote dream, but everything was just real, so blissful.
I that's the problem. Like I'm just afraid that I'm gonna I'm gonna think of something bad and it comes true. I'm like, oh damn, why did I do that? My mind is just. I'm always thinking about the worst case scenario. Like I go into a tunnel. I'm like, there's a monster in there. I'm leaving. Like,
Yeah.
First you gotta face it. If you can't get rid of it naturally, you have to face it. You know, like it's like riding a bike. If you didn't know how to ride it, you fear falling off of it. All of a sudden, you start to ride it. You learn that it's easy now. You just have to. You're either gonna face it, face the demon, face that darkness, face that fear, and then you'll see that it's not a big deal. Because first of all, it's not gonna hurt you in the dream. It's just gonna show itself. That's it. It can't hurt you, and you can't hurt it because it wasn't designed that way. That's why you always wake up before you either get hurt, punched, whatever. You tend to wake up.
Yep.
So you will wake up. Just know that you will wake up out of that reality. You know what I'm saying? But you got to clear that. Because if you die, you're gonna go right there.
Sometimes I be slaying demons in my dreams. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. I be fighting. I be having my little light sword. I be fucking them up.
You're supposed to defend yourself because one, there are some spirits that are jealous that you can master this. You understand what I'm saying? When you master both rounds, you master astral projection, go for this one and that one, as will. You know what I'm saying? They will get mad because they can't come back here. Some of them that's gone already, they can't come back to this round even though they want to. They have to take the whole cycle, go all there and wait their turn.
That makes me want to sit them down. I'm like, hey, listen, demon, you don't want to come back here.
It's not what you think. It's fake news. Get out of here.
It's the best. I'm going to you to not be that way. Ain't right.
Fake news.
Not a good place to be.
Heard this fake news. You really don't want to be here with this pollution, bro. Just get out of here.
People can't even wash their hands for 20 seconds. You're fine with that because it's so bad.
Right.
Chill over there.
Right. It'll be all right. You good. The grass ain't always green on the other side.
It's definitely not green. It's toxic as fuck. It's so bad.
Yeah.
Chemical grass. Fake.
Seriously.
All this shit was put here. All these fake ass trees, houses, and shit.
Yeah.
Fake clouds. We got it all. We faking it out here. China got a fake sun.
No paradise. You gotta pay to live.
Yes, all this fake shit and people still think this is real.
Yeah.
All these fake bitches and they still think they fake bitches are real. I don't get it, y'all. It's right for they fake tits. That bitch is fake. She ain't love herself. Fake ass. She ain't love herself. Like she ain't real. She ain't real.
Nope. Everybody shits. No matter how good you look, everybody shits.
Yeah, shit. You beautiful in your own fucking way.
Facts. I feel like somebody needed to hear that or will need to hear that.
Self-love. Self-love.
Self-love is the best love. Hey, I'm going to make a song called Self-Love. For real, for real.
Just ask yourself, why did I give myself that experience? Some have said in these higher realms they could perceive the past and future. Perhaps this is why sometimes we have dreams of things that happen a week later. Scientist Stephen LaBerge has actually proven that the phenomena known as lucid dreaming is real. Lucid dreaming and astral projection are actually the exact same thing. Many mainstream scientists will say that astral projection is unproven. However, now we've proven lucid dreaming to be real. So naturally, if you accept lucid dreaming, you have to accept astral projection as well. So what's the difference between lucid dreaming and astral projection? Well, lucid dreaming is becoming conscious while asleep, already out of body. Astral projection is consciously leaving the body, going straight from a waking state to an out-of-body state. And that's it. Now I have a little surprise for you, but first I want to say this. I don't have time to teach you methods of astral projecting, but I have a myriad of resources for you to look at in case you want to try it out. I really recommend it because it's absolutely the coolest experience you will ever have. Even for you skeptics, I ask that you don't immediately shut this out, especially since modern science has proven it to be real. My first recommended source is the book Astral Projection, Amazing Journeys Outside the Body. This is the best book you'll ever read on the topic. It has great descriptions and explanations of everything, including
What was the name of that book?
projection methods as well. Next, the 3 Robert Monroe books in this order. Far Journey, Ultimate Journey.
We'll catch it later, don't worry.
Yeah.
As I mentioned in lesson 8, Robert Monroe completely mapped out these other worlds, and if you want to learn about them in depth, seriously check these out.
I'd study him first, and then I would study what he put out.
I'll tell you great resources and information for lucid dreaming,
Press pause.
herbs, projection techniques, everything.
I'll tell you what though. Y'all know that slingshot shit y'all see all over the internet where they get on that ride and they shoot them in the air and they had an out of body experience. The soul, the body flew so damn fast the soul came out.
Yep.
Same thing like roller coaster rides. People that can't handle it, can't gain conscious, gain control, they eject.
You instantly see their eyes roll in the back of their head and they start tweaking out like, oh, I wasn't ready for this.
Right.
And you can if you watch those videos, you will see how they literally just go to sleep. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
And then they come back like, oh shit.
That's a good one. I never thought of that.
That's why I don't play the roller coaster games.
Same thing like
Fuck all that.
when people get into car accidents and they survive, they don't remember because the soul leaves the body instantly.
Mm-hmm.
Any fast impact, the soul leaves the body. It's too fast. See what I'm saying? So you will never know. Okay, but when it comes to like, anytime you're about to die or have an out of body experience, you're not gonna feel it. You're not gonna be conscious of it because your soul knows what's coming.
Yep. So it escapes harm, right? And it lets your body take the damage.
It doesn't want to remember that trauma. It doesn't want to relive that moment.
Still.
Conscious spirit, your soul knows what to take in and what not to. It's not going to remember that. Okay, only others will, like the outsiders will. They're like, oh my God, they got smashed in the car accident. But you don't realize in real, in true spiritual reality, they already been gone. So bad. And the people that actually experience this will have stories and they talk about it. I met some lady who said she died and she came back and so on and so forth, and we had our own little talk. But don't stress death. If you fear death, if you learn not to fear death, you will face everything. You'll face the world with no fear. Fear of no man or no evil. See what I'm saying? Once you master self-love, once you master knowing who you are and what your abilities are.
All right.
The world will get smaller to you. It will get smaller.
Still, remember how you was explaining how you seen in your dreams that you were gonna die pretty much or whatever, and then you got hit by the car. So funny enough, our vibrations do catch those messages like that, like right before it happens type situation. Because I just got a new car and all that stuff. I got into a car crash in like February. I was driving down the street and I wasn't that far from my uncle's house. And I tell this story all of the time. I was passing a bakery on Livingston, if anybody knows about Rich's Bakery. Best donuts in the world, no cap. So I was passing and I was just like in my mind like, something's bad about to happen. Somebody's going to run into me or something. And I was driving. It was raining real hard. And I'm like, I told myself right then and there, like, bro, you're tripping. Calm down. Ain't nothing going to happen. You're going to make it to work. Everything's going to be fine. No more than 3 minutes later, I was turning and he tried to go around me and just mashed right into me pretty much. Yeah. And like, I was in such a shock and awe for a minute. Like, I really had to get my bearings back together. Like, wait a minute. Fuck that, my door can't open right now. He's trying to get away. Hold on. Yeah. I chased him down with my busted car and still was like, I was still in a big autopilot. Yeah, like I was there, but I just definitely wasn't there.
So let me ask you this, because I've definitely had situations where I felt this is going to happen, and then I ignore it, and then it happens. Do you
Mm-hmm.
think that if you would have took the time to just pull into a gas station or something, that accident never would have happened?
Never would have happened. But I
I
was
feel
already in
like
a rush in my mind. I was thinking about so many things. I was thinking about my uncle, and specifically, like I want him to make me sorrel because
Mhm.
he makes some good ass sorrel, if y'all know what that is. But yeah, I was like literally getting ready to hand him $20 to be like, go get some hibiscus leaves and make that tea up or whatever.
Mhm.
And like me manifesting that was like, no, what I manifested was I'm going to get in a crash right in front of his house. Like he was standing in the driveway and watched it all happen type situation.
Oh wow.
You
But
probably
see,
like, ooh.
yeah, like but I always wondered, like, is it really that we're manifesting that, or is that a warning?
That was definitely a warning.
Like,
It's a
because some people be like, "Oh, you think negative, so negative stuff happened," but that's not always true,
no,
because that
Yeah,
could
I've
be,
never understood that.
no,
yeah,
it's a warning being flipped up. It's all everything like true shit always gets flipped upside down or inside out. Okay. It's a warning. Okay, it's a warning for you to dodge that bullet. Okay, it's coming. It's coming. Now you dodge it. Okay, but if people don't listen to their intuition, they
yeah.
will continue. Okay, it
The
happens that way.
the reason why I lost everything was because of that, and Crown, I promise you, like when you was telling me the car story, I knew what was going to happen, because I'm like, that shit happened to me. I was driving on the highway, leaving to go to Flint from Detroit, and I had a vision of my car swerving. Like I literally saw myself swerving, and then I snapped and I said, "You're fine. Like stop thinking like that. It's gonna be you tripping." Now I had a choice to go to a gas station and put air in my tire, because something was telling me to put air in your tire. But I was such in a rush to get where I was going. I'm like, no, I'm gonna be good. My tire popped, and I'm literally sliding on the highway. Thank the universe that there was no cars coming at all. And this is like the busiest. This is I-475. If you know anything about Michigan, that's the busiest fucking highway, period. But there was no cars, but I was literally just gliding on my axle, just sliding. And I'm like, this is literally what I had envisioned. Of course, I was fine. Like I turned, I was good enough to steer the car to the little rail bumper things on the side, and I'm here talking to y'all. But I'm like, damn, like if I would have just listened to my fucking, like I'm like, god damn, I would have my car right now as we speak. Like,
But this is why we say a lot of people are intuitive because they get the message ahead of time, and if they be like, "Oh, don't speak into existence," it's like they got the message before, but they didn't want to listen to it, so now they want to blame you for knowing it.
yeah, yeah,
They find you guilty for knowing what was about to happen. Okay?
yeah, I know, and that is very counterproductive, because then you start second guessing yourself. Like, yeah, that's crazy. So I'm sure that everybody here on this panel has had psychic situations. So could you name me one time where you displayed any type of psychic abilities, or any uh any special powers or abilities that you feel like most people don't have? Could
Who?
you name me one instance?
Go. I want everybody else to go first because I'm gonna
I
share, but I'm not gonna share too much.
know I know I have intuitive psychic ability. I've always been that way since I was younger. I had, in order for me to had got this much knowledge, um, I had experience out of body experiences where, I don't know why I was forced, but let me tell you, spirit put me through it. I literally fell downstairs, got trapped into like situations where I could have died, and I'd be like, I'm ready to go, take me. They'd be like, no, you have something to do, but we just wanted to remind you what you need to do. So I do have a psychic ability, a spiritual. a spiritual mind open. I'm like the Matrix right now when they call me or tell me his ass home type shit. Like, hey, tell this one over here that they need to stop doing this, stop doing that. And see, people hate that. I be
Right.
like, listen, something telling me. I be like, something telling me to tell you you should do that, and I deal with the consequences. I be like, they yelling and screaming at me. But I mean, I have to. I'm a messenger, and I have to deliver my messages, the messages that I get from spirit. So I definitely have um, telecommunication with spirit realm.
Kiki.
For me, it's just a little stuff. So it's not that spontaneous. And when I mean a little stuff, I would just say, um, I would think of a certain song. I will put on. I always put my song on, like my music on shuffle. The exact same song will come up, or I'll think of a certain singer. They will just pop up. Um, my friend, I will text a friend, and then I'll say, "Were you about to say something about this?" And we say, "I was literally just about to text you and say something about that. What did you? How did you?" And it'll happen every time. It would just be the little stuff. I would just know what's gonna happen before it even happens. Just the
Them downloads.
yeah, or like I know, like I'll look at my phone, somebody's calling me. I just knew somebody was gonna call me. Um, like I think the biggest thing, what happened? Something happened in my room. Something like with my TV. Um, it was like maybe at 1 in the morning. I all I did was wake up, look at my TV for like a good 5 minutes, and it just cut on. So just small things.
Yeah.
I'm like, why is this happening? I don't understand. But it's almost, I don't know. It just, that's what I do. People, like, I'll just say something before somebody will say it all the time. It'll freak people out. Um, and I guess it does go like if I don't have tarot, I'll just go to Oracle. I'll have a message, and I'm like, "Are you going through this?" Even without, I would just get a message, um, just something that's completely just out of, or I don't know what's going on, but I was just like, "Is this situation happening with like, a cousin in this particular time, in this particular day?" And they're like, "That's very fucking detailed. How do you know that?" So that's my I don't fucking know. It just happens. It's been like that since I was a kid. Um, I'll tell my grandmother, "Hey, your phone's ringing," and she's like, "No, it's not. It rings." like
Yeah.
she's like, "How do you like?" Okay, the movie Twitches, right? With T and Tamara or Tamara, Tamara, when she pretty much just told her dad, "I'll get it," and then the phone just rang. He's like, "How the hell did she do that?"
Yeah.
That's pretty much what. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what.
Be on some Hello Raven shit.
Yeah.
Love Raven.
I watch that show all the time. I Twitches is my favorite. Like I was always drawn with That's So Raven, Twitches, that movie. I was always drawn to like a. I love anything that involves ghosts. Like my grandma hated it. She's Christian, so like she thinks I'm looking at some evil stuff, but I don't care. I will listen to Ghost Adventures, my ghost stories.
Yeah, that Halloween show about realms. I can't remember the name.
Yes, like Disney, just anything Halloween-ish, like anything that just involves the other side. Because I was raised Christian, but if it was something that got with me, in my backyard, you know how people would just mix herbs and everything. I mixing flowers and leaves and grass and pretending I'm making soup and just doing something. I just had that. I don't know. I'm a witch.
See, that goes into credence of something I said earlier.
Yeah, when you wasn't on here.
Yeah, it's like you when you're young, you literally are doing exactly what you're going to do when you're older. Like it's like when I was a kid, I would collect rocks for no reason at all. I would just see shiny rocks and I put them in my pocket, and I like especially if it was warm, I would hold it in my hands and feel the warmth. And now it's crystal. Yeah, exactly.
Look, I'm doing the same thing right now. Full of crystals.
Oh, I got this on Amazon too.
And now,
oh wow,
that's fire. That's fire.
Big boy amethyst.
Right. And that make
Yes.
Hey, see, y'all gonna make me pull my crystals out.
Raw gang. My baby crystal ain't got nothing to do with that one.
It's not a dildo, it's a wand.
Yeah.
My wand got chipped.
Is that calcite or
Which one? Mine?
It look white.
It's a rose tip.
Oh, really?
Oh, so it's pink. It's the pink one, yeah.
I'm not sure what mine.
Yeah, there we go.
This is
Yours might be a calcite.
I almost got one of those the other day, Kiki.
You did?
I almost got it. I had to pull myself away. Yeah, that's about the same of this your quartz.
We don't stunt with jewelry, we stunt with crystals.
So this one beautiful. You can't even see it like that, but it's beautiful.
I got jewelry too.
That's fluorite, right?
Yeah, the blue one.
Yeah, I know my crystals. Come on now.
Oh,
Hey, that's a chakra tuner. What is that? What is that? Quartz.
This ain't supposed to be a crystal show.
Last one, I'll stop flexing, but I got this too.
See, that's fire.
And then this is my sacral for my damn belly. And I have 3 of these.
You know what I
opal
want?
pyramids.
I really want to do it.
I have. Oh yeah, you already seen that one, but yeah, those are.
Yeah, beautiful. They shine really. Look, you can barely see it, but they shine really beautiful.
My jewelry's down there. I'm lazy to get it, but yeah.
We got sidetracked. Okay, powers. Let me go ahead and speak on superpower. Every black person holds some type of power. They might not know it. They might not understand it. They just won't get the situation. But every melanated person comes with their own connection to the other side or whatever realm you want to say. So I'm going to say F all of my manifesting. Like I manifest like a mug. Like I said, I'd be like, oh man, I need a new fan. Boom, go to work. There's the fan. Oh man, broke my table in half because I was angry today. Boom, there goes the table. Right there at work, brand new, exactly like I needed it. Or I would be like, say I don't want to say this in the wrong way. When I can be upset sometimes, and when I start manifesting things like that, and then like a week later that person's no longer here on this earth, I'm like, okay. And then when it happens more than one time, I'm like, okay, I really need to not think like that. Because it's definitely happening every time I think like that. So I've definitely been trying to keep in a mindset of don't get too deep into things. And then there was times where I wanted to manifest things and it didn't happen though. Like I was like, yeah, for real, like I really want this to happen, but it just happened in another way.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe it wasn't what you needed.
So having my abundance like I do now, I blame that all on my manifestation. My twins. I kept saying I wanted twins. And the day that I actually got up off my butt, went downtown, paid the money, and got my business license, that day I learned that I was going to be having twins. It was like I yelled at the top of my lungs. I was like, yeah! It's a lot of multiple different situations that have come up where it wasn't even just manifesting or me thinking so hard about and heavy about things. I just literally went, I want this, and it happened for me. Or I'm going to do this, and it happened for me. So yeah, we all carry some kind of power. Hold on, I need to step out for 2 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah, I definitely do believe that I am psychic and that I just deal with anything that involves me using. I usually I feel like it's my hands, it's my intuition, which is in that gut, but it's my hands. Like I feel like I can do something with because I can make anything out of nothing. Whatever.
Do you feel prana? Do you feel prana when you put your hands close together? Do you feel that prana, that energy?
Yes.
The life force. Is it cold? Is it kind of cold?
It's very hot, actually.
See, mine is usually cold. But yeah, see, but that might be the elemental of yourself. You know,
if it's cold, then maybe that's when I finally reached it. Who knows? But I don't know. I just always felt like I'm like hot. Maybe it's because I don't even know. I can't describe it. It's like it's very hot, And I always thought that people who are just cold master things. You know, have you ever talked to someone who's smart, notice they're just cold for no reason? That's why I've always had that in my head. So that's why I feel like I'm not there yet. It's hot right now, but it's because I haven't reached my full potential in whatever gift I have. So I'm not there yet. So
But
I mean that's what I have.
it's like your chakras is like a motor. Okay. If you can, okay, because I've seen a guy set a piece of paper on fire. Okay.
Say hi.
Because he harnessed with his hands.
I got a bag of toys.
So you can literally, hot is not always bad, cold is not always bad, but you can manage, like wherever you channel your energy, channel it to your hands, that's where it's gonna go. Channel it to your feet, that's where it's gonna go.
You can take your shoes off.
That's where it's gonna go. Channel it to your chest, your back. You can channel the heat where you want it to go, like heat flashes. Okay.
Yeah.
Heat flashes. You know what I'm saying? If you're hot here and you can feel that ball there, you can literally set something on fire if you got hot enough. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Stu, remember I was telling you about that the other day?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it's real.
You can move things. People, we gotta understand. We are so creative. We can move shit with our mind. You can move shit with your mind. You can manifest the way it's been. You can move shit with your mind. Some people can levitate because you gotta manipulate the realm. See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You gotta master the element of when you're trying to, like people that levitate, okay, all they did was use their spiritual being to pull them up. You see what I'm saying? Because you ever been pushed by a spirit, possessed by a spirit, same shit. It's telling you that this person, if you notice, they always at Zen, they always meditating. Okay, which means they know who they are. They know that they got the people behind their back, and they say, "All right, listen," and they listen.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? If they say, um, yeah, it's just like that. It's just like that.
okay.
Like we fear the unknown because we don't know our power. But if you tap back into it, it gets better, and they can protect you. Like it was a time when I first awakened, I seen light beams in the corner of my room at nighttime, where my body was frozen. They didn't let me move because they didn't want me to be scared. So they numbed my body. I was in like I was only able to open up my eyes, and I literally saw five of them, five light beams, little small light beams, floating around in the corner. And they just let me know because I asked them to protect me, and they let me know that they was there to protect me. You know what I'm saying? And I also seen, let me see, when I was astral projecting out of my room, out of my body into the corner of my room, I saw my supposed twin flame, okay, floating over me. So I knew he was alive. I knew he was alive. He was way out on the other side of the country. So I knew he was alive because he was literally floating over me. When I astral traveled out of my body, went to the corner, I saw him floating over me. Like, some people would say spirits would, look you dead in your face and touch you and stuff like that. But he was literally floating over me. And when he saw me come out my body, because he was trying to come and get me out of my body so we can go to the other realm and spend time together, you know, like the genie without the bug, you know what I mean? But it was an astral plane.
Been there.
We literally, we would literally in the other realm go to like a spiritual drive-through. They have like a drive-through in the other realm where you, in another realm where they're floating in outer space. They have like a floating outer space kind of drive-through like McDonald's in the astral plane. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We literally went to the drive-through. You know what I'm saying? We drove. Where we got this wood from? You know what I'm saying? So, it's real, y'all. Y'all gotta master it. You're missing out.
Man.
Out.
Facts.
Yo, master it.
Anybody in the chat, if y'all feel like y'all have any psychic abilities or anything like that, please let us know.
You know when Carol said that it's so simple that it's so complicated? Yeah, that's how I feel right now.
Yep.
Let Let me let him say it.
So fucking simple that it's so complicated.
Yeah. But was that the live right now?
No, I was looking through my thing because I had somebody sent me something, and it didn't pop up. I'm like, this is perfect right now.
It's like a meme. We gonna kill this guy with the memes.
No video. So we're just like, oh.
Ah, shit.
All right, before we end this, because we've been rocking for 2 hours, I'm going to quickly explain what my psychic abilities have been. I've always seen spirits, whether they're like in the corner of my eyes, or I hear them talking, or they'll like stand so they can see me, all types of shit like that. Since I was a kid, I've always seen spirits. I've always had. I don't know if it's clairvoyance, but like I am the closest equivalent to that's a raven that I know. Because I'll give y'all an example. When I was
Premonition.
I've always had premonitions. Correct. When I was I had to be in the 8th grade. I was over my friend's house and I felt a weird energy, and I just called my mama and I said, "Are my brothers okay?" And she said, "If you were here, you would know it," because she was upset at me because I wasn't at home, and she hung up. Within 20 minutes, she called me and said, "Your brothers just got shot at with some metal pellet guns." And she said, "How did you know?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I didn't know, but just something made me say, I need to call my mom and ask about my brothers." Because it was just like, and okay, I knew that I would be in Atlanta. I didn't know why I was coming back here, but I knew I kept visualizing the house that I'm in now. I kept having that vision of me being here. And it's like, I was straight. I had a good job. I had a car. I was doing my thing, but I kept envisioning being where I'm at now. And here I am. So premonitions and spirits for sure. I'm connected that way. And like I was saying earlier about the rocks, when I was younger, I was always into games like Yu-Gi-Oh! Anything to do with magic, I just gravitated towards it. And now I'm into Oracle and Tarot. And now I do want spell books, and I do want to learn how to manipulate the ether and learn the sciences on a deeper level. Like, I've always been the exact same person. So I just wanted to put that out there. And I appreciate my guest, Essence. Your energy, so amazing as always. Kiki, you came in late, but you came in strong. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate your energy. Crown G, you know we always watch it. Everybody in the chat, I appreciate y'all. I was seeing the numbers climb and all that, so I appreciate y'all. Please like, share, and subscribe. Get this information out. And like we always do, let's leave with love and light. Peace.